Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I'm about to go do some business and I got to go for a ride. But before I do that, I have to bring you some content to keep making this channel grow and doing my own research. And then it's just fun to talk about Palantir. And this is what today's video is going to be: Palantir. Hashtag ticker symbol PLTR. Palantir is in an absolute freaking crazy run. From April, Palantir went from like right around just under $6. It was like $5.90. And then it hit literally a 52-week high yesterday at $20.30. Some people, specifically one guy I know, John, one of my crypto dudes, actually got into Palantir at $6 freaking bucks. And he rode it 6 to 20, didn't sell. So that's insane, right? The guy tripled up, almost 3.3 times his money. It's really, really crazy. A lot of people got into Palantir at a certain price, and now the price of Palantir drives up, and a lot of people are not sure what to do. So it didn't end the day green, and Palantir ended the day like $19 and change, and right now it's trading right around like $19.70 or something. It's down like 0.8% last time I checked. Look, at $20, a lot of things are priced in. No, I am not saying to sell. And no, I am not saying that it's overvalued. I'm just saying that a lot of things are priced in, and that $20 mark is a magnet. I am foreseeing an 18 to right around that 20 and change mark fluctuation. Hopefully it stays there because I'm making a shit ton of money with covered calls and cash secured puts, collecting my premiums, and I'm really, really happy about that. But if Palantir breaks out, of course I will be happy. If Palantir drops, of course I'm just going to buy more shares. It is what it is. But a lot of people just don't know what to do. Look, you can do whatever you want. Don't listen to anybody on YouTube. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to anybody. I'm going to give you guys the lowdown of what currently is happening with Palantir, and you guys can make up your own decision. So there's a couple of interesting things that just came out. Number one, Microsoft Fabrics just came out. And if you check the tweets from ticker symbol U, and you check the tweets specifically for the OG code strap, they're trying out Microsoft Fabric. And Microsoft Fabric is a competitor, a real competitor to Palantir. Not like a Snowflake, not like a Datadog, not a C3 AI. It's an actual competitor to Palantir in terms of what they're trying to do. Now, Microsoft has Microsoft Fabric, which would be like a Palantir Foundry, and Microsoft has ChatGPT, which would be kind of like a Palantir AIP that they can stack with Fabric. So ChatGPT stacked with Fabric, and then Microsoft and Palantir has Palantir AIP stacked with Palantir Foundry. Microsoft has Impact Level 6 clearance, and Palantir has Impact Level 6 clearance. Now, Palantir services cloud. Microsoft Azure is cloud. So it's very, very interesting. This is probably the closest to a competitor we have to Palantir ever. And some people are nervous, some people are not nervous. And again, I wish I could show you guys the screens, but Arnie put up a questionnaire, Arnie Investing, definitely check him out. And it says, are you scared of the competition, like shaking, or what competition? And it's like 65, 35, what competition? Like, people don't think that's competition. So I have a different way of thinking about this, and it's going to say, flattery is the best type of a compliment. And I believe that this is a flattery. And they are essentially trying to do what we have, right? The total addressable market is just going to keep growing. I believe that the total addressable market is more than big enough for two heavy hitters. I also think that Palantir still, by far, can handle a lot more complex situations and complex use cases than Microsoft. But again, Microsoft is nearly a $3 trillion company, the second largest company, actually right on the ass of Apple to be the number one company, while Palantir is like a $40 billion company. So one way you're like, well, there's so much growth for Palantir, and they specialize in this, and then Microsoft specializes in like 12 different things, right, for example. And this is just one facet. So how specialized can they be? And Microsoft has nearly $3 trillion to fight with. So it's going to be very interesting to see what's gonna happen. I don't think Palantir is dead by any means. I think this is actually good to show that whatever Palantir has, there's something to it. whatever Palantir is doing, Microsoft, that is a second highest, biggest company in the world, publicly traded, and one of the biggest companies in the world. I think there's like a top five, right? There's a couple of Saudi companies that are bigger that are privately owned. And the fact that Microsoft is getting into a direct competition with Palantir is good for Palantir. Not in terms of the competition, although it's going to drive innovation, but in terms of this market is real, right? What Palantir does is real. The applications of Palantir is real. And I think Palantir is going to offer a more robust offering as per usual. And I don't think that Microsoft is going to kill Palantir here. I think the market is huge. That's going to keep it growing. The TAM is going to keep growing. And both of them are going to explode in this specific market. And what's good for the geese is good for the gander type of thing. They're both going to keep expanding. That's my personal opinion of what's going to happen. So that's a huge piece of news for what currently is happening with Palantir. Let me know down below, sound off, if you think this is a direct competitor or not. I'm hoping this is going to be a Bing to Google search, right? Where Bing is whack and Google search is fantastic, right? Or in this case, or like a Bard from Google, which is shit, trying to compete with ChatGPT and Microsoft. In this case, it's Microsoft, but you get what I'm trying to say. So I'm hoping that this is going to be the redheaded stepchild, the younger whacker sister of Palantir, if that makes sense. No disrespect to the redheads. I love you guys all. So that's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen. Sound off down below. Let me know what you guys think. It's going to be very, very interesting. So that's one big piece of news. Second big piece of news is Peter Thiel. He has several funds. He has the Founders Fund. He has a bunch of different ones, right? Peter Thiel, he's the co-founder of, and essentially the main founder of Palantir, and the founder of PayPal, and first outside investor for Facebook. And he's a legend. He is actually as good, if not better, an investor as Warren Buffett, Ray Dalio, people like this, Peter Lynch. People don't give Peter Thiel credit. He's up there. People don't realize that. But whatever, it doesn't make a difference. So Peter Thiel ended up selling 2.5 million shares of Palantir in the open market at $20 a share. So for this specific fund, this was around 15% of the fund's total shares, and I think they bought into it under $10. So I think like $8 or something. So they actually found that $20 is enough of a gain that they're willing to start selling. And this is why I keep telling people $20 is the anchor, and $20 gives you ridiculous premium for covered calls and then buyback for cash secured puts if you're doing the wheel strategy. I am making a fucking killing. My channel members know about that, and I'm accumulating more shares on the way down. So just saying, if you want to become channel members, link is down below. I've been doing a lot of lives answering questions for channel members. It's $3 a month. It buys me a coffee, or if you just want to support the channel or learn more about this wheel strategy. But $20 seems to be an anchor. I know some people are going to say, oh, fair market value for Palantir is like $25. Dan Ives, yeah, for sure. But people have this misconception that tomorrow Palantir is going to go to $30, $40, $50, $60. And it might. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. I'm just saying at $20, I am not selling. I am super, super bullish. I'm just saying $20 is a magic number. $20 today is what $15 was like 4 months ago, if that makes sense. At $20, we still need to keep growing like monsters. At $20, we need to prove AIP. At $20, we need to keep being GAAP profitable. At $20, we got to keep improving our customer count. Like, right? Everything at $20 needs to go right because a lot of things are priced in, and you're getting a premium for that right now with Palantir. And it's not just me saying this. Even Peter Thiel is saying that and sold 2.5 million shares. But the market bought that shit up quick, right? Think about it. Palantir is not dropping. It's near all-time highs. It's like 1950, 60, 70, whatever. So it's very interesting, right? He drops 2.5 million shares. That's not a drop in the bucket, right? That's a lot of shares. Like, that's a lot of volume of shares in one day. And it was eaten up by retail. This is not like it's me, you, regular people are buying this, not institutions. So it's very interesting. Palantir is a very, very interesting situation right now where, it's just a beautiful, beautiful company. And I made a video yesterday about FedStart and how FedStart essentially is the same thing what AIP is. think about this. Hold on a second. What do I mean by this? Palantir has assets, right? Just like Microsoft just made Microsoft Fabric out of nowhere. They had these assets, they have the capabilities, and they're just calling it Microsoft Fabric. Palantir has certain assets and capabilities as well that they're able to monetize, extract maximum revenue or profits from what they already offer. What is that? Palantir FedStart, where they're essentially your auditor for you as a company, a startup, to be able to work with the Department of Defense, the DoD, the military. By doing that, they're collecting a shit ton of fees, and it's a consumption-based model, which means as much as you need Palantir, that's how much you pay for the services that you need from Palantir. That's very similar to what they did with Palantir AIP, right? They had the capability. They've been doing this for the government for a decade. They just rearranged a few things, put a bow tie on it, right? Like a ribbon, and called it AIP. The more Palantir can do this, the more they're able to extract more revenue from their existing business. They don't need to offer real estate, for example, which would be a completely different business, or investing into all of these SPACs, which was like a different business, right? They're not investors. They still have 4 SPACs from the 10K, if I'm not mistaken. So this is them literally using their assets that they have to the maximum full potential, which is great. So yeah, there's a lot of positivity happening for Palantir. We're going to see what's going to happen. And on the next earnings, all eyes and ears are on Palantir AIP and how many customers they can actually convert. If they can convert 20% customers, Palantir keeps soaring. But if they only convert like 2%, Palantir is going to, die down the price, because everything right now at $20, everything is starting to be baked in. And for us to get to $22, $23, $24, $25 and sustain it, not just hit it, but sustain it, we really need to show that growth. We need to keep growing over 30% for our commercial business. And in general, our total business needs to start growing at that, low 20s, then mid 20s, then 30% as well. We need that. We need that growth, because we're still a hyper growth company, but our numbers do not reflect hyper growth. And although our last earnings was great, best earnings we had in a very, very long time, it's not there. So we might get euphoria for S&P 500, and we might hit $25. But is it sustainable? No, not in my opinion. I could be wrong. What does it matter? In my opinion, it's not financial advice. Anyways, I'm not, this is purely entertainment and education, but everybody has to make their own decisions what's good for them and their type of investment. And no, I want to make it very clear. I'm not selling. I'm super bullish. I'm saying at $20, we are very, very strongly valued. And if we go to $25 tomorrow, I would say that we are overvalued if nothing changes. Microsoft news, I don't think is bad. I think it's positive. I don't think this is a Palantir killer by any means. I'm very happy that we're at that $20 magnet. I wouldn't mind if Palantir hits 18, although I'm not wishing for it, which I'll pick up more shares. And I'm just riding that $20 anchor for covered calls, cash secured puts, collecting like 50-cent premium per share. It's really, really lucrative the whole way up and down. And Peter Thiel selling 2.5 million shares at $20, I don't think is bearish. I don't think that's a bad thing. Nothing to worry about. He still has tens of millions of shares. He's still the largest shareholder of Palantir by far, even more than BlackRock. Guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. One more piece of news. They're actually extending their partnership with Ukraine for doing war crime investigations. And yeah, there's a lot of money that's going to come out of Ukraine after this war. So yeah, a lot of bullish things happening for Palantir. Thank you very much. Like, share, subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later.